Hello everyone. Welcome to another English learning video. In today's lesson, you will improve both your listening and speaking skills. I will tell you a thrilling adventure story. This story is about a young American man who travels to South America and discovers something that changes his life forever. I will tell the story sentence by sentence. Pause the video after each sentence and repeat. This is called the shadowing technique. Are you ready? Let's begin the story. My name is Ethan Walker, and this is the story of how a simple vacation turned into the most dangerous adventure of my life. It all started on a warm Tuesday morning. I was traveling alone in Peru, exploring old trails and ancient ruins. I love adventure. I love discovering things people forget. But nothing prepared me for what I was about to find. One afternoon, I visited a small village at the edge of the mountains. The air smelled like smoke and fresh fruit. Children ran around the streets. Old men played cards beside the market. Everything felt peaceful until I met the old shopkeeper. He was thin with silver hair and eyes full of secrets. He asked, "You like adventure, young man?" I said, "Yes, very much." He smiled slowly. Then he pulled out an old folded paper. "This," he whispered, "is a map to a place forgotten by time." My heart started beating fast. I loved stories like this. I asked him, "Is it real?" He said, "Real enough that people disappeared trying to find it." Maybe I should have walked away, but curiosity is my weakness. I bought the map. The next morning, I started hiking into the mountains. The trail was narrow and steep. Rocks slid under my boots. Wind howled through the valley. After hours of walking, the weather changed. Dark clouds rolled over the mountains. Cold rain fell fast. I looked at the map carefully. According to it, I needed to find a narrow canyon. Finally, I saw it. A dark crack between two giant cliffs. I walked inside. Suddenly, someone stepped out from behind a rock. A man, tall, serious, wearing mountain gear. He asked, "Why are you here?" I felt nervous. I said, "Just exploring." He stared at the map in my hand. His eyes widened. "Where did you get that?" he asked. I didn't trust him, so I just said, "A shopkeeper sold it to me." He whispered, "You need to turn back, now." "But why?" I asked. He shook his head. "Because people who search for that place never return." Before I could say anything, he disappeared into the canyon. A chill ran down my spine, but I kept walking. The canyon opened up into a huge valley, and then I saw it. Massive stone towers, broken statues, walls covered in vines. A lost city. The forgotten city. I felt small standing in front of it. I walked down the stone steps. My footsteps echoed. Birds flew away at the sound. Inside the city, everything was silent. Too silent. As I explored, I saw strange footprints in the dust. Not animal prints, human prints. Someone else was here. Then I heard a voice, "Don't move." I spun around. 3 men stood behind me. They looked dangerous. One of them carried a rifle. "Give us the map," the leader said. I felt my hands shaking. I said, "I don't have it anymore." He smirked. "Don't lie." They took my backpack. They searched everything. Then, suddenly, a shout came from behind them. It was the stranger from the canyon. He yelled, "Run!" I ran as fast as I could. I sprinted through broken halls. My heart felt like it would explode. The men chased us through the ruins. Bullets hit the walls around me. The stranger led me into a dark tunnel. We hid behind a collapsed pillar. Both of us breathed hard. He said, "I told you to turn back." I asked, "Who are those men?" He said, "Treasure hunters, dangerous ones. They want the map because it leads to a secret chamber." "What chamber?" I asked. He whispered, "The heart chamber, a room filled with ancient technology." "Technology?" I asked. He nodded. "Something older than any civilization we know." The stranger and I followed the tunnel deeper. It felt endless. Water dripped from the ceiling. The air smelled old and heavy. Finally, we reached a stone door. Symbols covered its surface. The map had the same symbols. Together, we pushed the door. It opened slowly, revealing a glowing blue light. Inside stood a huge stone machine covered in symbols. It pulsed like a heartbeat. I whispered, "What is this?" He said, "Something powerful, something dangerous." Suddenly, the stranger pulled out a gun. He pointed it at me. My stomach dropped. He said, "Sorry, Ethan, I needed you to open the door." My mind spun. Twist after twist. Nothing made sense. Before he could pull the trigger, a loud crash echoed through the chamber. The treasure hunters burst inside. The stranger turned around. Gunshots filled the room. I dropped to the ground. Bullets hit the ancient machine. The blue light grew brighter. 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 A shockwave blasted through the chamber. Everyone fell. The stone machine started to move. Symbols lit up. The floor shook. Dust fell from the ceiling. Something ancient had awakened. I crawled toward the exit as fast as I could. Stones fell behind me. The ground cracked open. The entire city began to collapse into the earth. I saw sunlight at the end of the tunnel. I ran. My legs burned. My lungs felt like fire. Just before the tunnel collapsed completely, I jumped out. The entire valley rumbled. In seconds, the forgotten city disappeared into the earth forever. I lay on the ground, covered in dust, alive, breathing hard, shaking. The map in my pocket burned. I pulled it out. The symbols had faded completely. Gone forever. I whispered to myself, "Some secrets should stay forgotten." And that was the end of my adventure. But not the end of my curiosity. Now it's your turn to practice. Rewind the story. Pause after each sentence and repeat. This will train your brain to think in English. Practice a little every day. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy these stories, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. I will see you in the next English learning adventure.